Hi everyone, this is Cyrus for iPhoneS.com and iPhoneAppsFinder.com. Today I'm showing you Wordfolio by the guys at Digital Education Labs. As the name suggests, this is an application for keeping track of the words that you learn. Now we're talking about, let's say, even if English is your first language and you want to add new words to your vocabulary, preparing for the GRE exam or whatever, or just learning a new language, this application has you covered. So when you're getting it started, you have three options. You have your training option, which is you use the words that you have as flashcards to get answers, to check your answers, see how many words you've learned, how many you need to practice, and then you can organize them. I'm going to show you that in a second. You have settings. You can add multiple languages, keeps track of, see all the languages that are available here, keeps track of the words that I've added, sorting words. You can set reminders for your training, because when you're learning a new language, if you're not practicing, and I say this as someone who learned English from scratch, I didn't know nothing about this English language when I came here to America, and took a lot of practice to get to where I am, and it's not even perfect yet. So when you're trying something new that's completely different, let's say you're learning Japanese and you've lived your whole life in America, you have to practice, and practice maybe every day the words, to memorize them and keep them in your mind for longer. So let's say I want to go and have my words that I've entered. So you can edit them easily. You can have them in the iCloud and access all the words that you have on your iOS devices. But the words that you enter, so let's say you go to a class and they tell you about this word, they say what it means, and then you can go and look something up in the dictionary, or you can just add a new definition and you go from there. So let's say I want to add another meeting. I'm just going to add something. And you can also add your notes. You can start them, you can delete them. Very easy to do. The same applies with other groups that you have. You can also add new groups. It tells you how many words you have inside each group. So that's useful. Let's say I want to go and add a new word. I want to say something easy. Let's say I can't even remember a word. All right. I'm sure they're not gonna ask you about the iPhone means in another language. I'm sure they use the same word in most languages. At least that's what I've heard. In Persian, in Japanese, I know. So, but anyway, so you add your definition, and it's gonna get there, and you can see the words that you've added, their definitions. Now you want to go and change the group of this word. So that's very simple. You go, it's already in the general vocabulary part. But let's say you want to add to your test. Let's say you're preparing for your GMAT test, and you just have to imagine that they're gonna ask you about the iPhone on the GMAT test. So you add it to your test group, directory, whatever you want to call it, folder, and it's gonna be there. And I have two words. Now, in order to get your flashcard thingy going and to test yourself, you're gonna need three words. So all the active words are gonna be in the, gonna have three words, or you're not gonna be able to do it. And if you don't remember words, it's gonna keep track of it, and it's gonna say, hey, you're gonna need more practice on these five words. You can also go to your general vocabulary and just practice that group only. Now let's say I want to go and see all the active words that I have. So these are the active words that were used for that test. Now, I'm going to archive that. I'm going to archive that. And I'm going to archive that. So what happened there was now I have 4 words in my archive, and that's the word. Those are the words that I added right now. And if I go and now try to do training, he says you need 3 words to train. Because if you can't remember 2 words, I mean seriously, if you can't remember 2 words that you've learned, and you go to a class, you probably need to work a little bit harder. So, but this application tells you that you're gonna need 3 words to start doing the flashcard thingy. And what I want to improve, if I were the developer, is to add a distant dictionary to this application. Right now, you just have to enter your word, and obviously, it does. You get the spell checker and things like that, but it'd be nice to actually get a very good dictionary so you can actually learn new things. And maybe you don't go to a class and you just see a word when you're sitting, I don't know, in a bus or driving to your work, and you don't know what it means. And when you get to your work, maybe you just want to type it down, and it'd be nice to have a dictionary to help you out. So simple things, and this is the iPhone version. There is no iPad version as far as I know, and this did crash on us a few times, so that's a little bit of a turn off. But overall, a decent application overall if you're just getting started with the new language and you want an app to keep track of your words. So it's Wordfolio for iPhone. I hope you enjoyed this short review. For more information, more tips, please go to iPhoneNest.com and iPhoneAppsFinder.com. Thanks again for watching, guys.